Hi, I'm David Rosenberg. I'm the communications manager at TEDx. I'm going to be speaking with you about the importance of good photography. Chances are you've either recently finished your event or you're getting ready to promote your event. And like most people, you probably want to sit down and knock out a great article or a blog post. And you should. But keep in mind that the written word has its limitations. Photography, on the other hand, has the ability to communicate across languages and cultures. It can tell your story beautifully in one shot, and it's a great branding tool for you to use for an entire year. But great photographs don't just happen. They take a lot of work and communication between you and your photographer to make sure you get exactly what you need. You wouldn't want a photographer showing up on your wedding day without any communication, and the same holds true for a photographer at your event. 3 things to keep in mind for creating great photography is to prepare, produce, and post. The first thing when it comes to producing great photography is to produce a shot list. A shot list is exactly that. It's a list of shots that you need for the photographer to capture at your event. This is a great way for your photographer to feel organized at your event so they don't get caught up in the hectic day. Second, you want to walk through the event with your photographer. The first time your photographer is seeing your event should not be at the same time as your attendees. A walkthrough is important because it gives a photographer an idea of where to stand, gives them an idea of the run-through of the event, how long the talks are going to last, if there's any interesting props on stage or interesting slides. They know exactly where to capture those slides, and they know exactly where not to stand. The third thing you need is a shareable document. This is important because on the day of your event, you want to make sure that you and your photographer are in sync. So in case there are any last-minute changes or substitutions, everyone is aware of them. You don't want your photographer to miss an interesting audience activation, a high-wire act, a unique perspective, or a moment that happens in a split second that cannot be repeated. Once you and photographer are on the same page, it's time for you to have them produce exactly what you need. You want them to get an idea of what happens from your event from A to Z. So make sure they capture name tags, signage, stage design, registration, unique angles, activations, staff, and other branding tools. And because speakers are very important, you want to make sure that you get 3 different angles. You want a close-up of the speaker that shows emotion, you want a mid-range shot that gives a little more information about the stage design, and you would like to get a wide-angle shot that shows the speaker, the audience, and the stage design. But speakers only tell part of the story, and the truth is, your audience is going to get more out of watching the talk than seeing a photograph of your speaker. Your audience is where the viewer is going to get the most amount of information. So make sure your photographer captures emotions, curiosity, get an idea of the attendees, activations that happen, and also outside of the theater, you want to make sure you see audience engaging with one another and engaging with your branding. And be sure to include some fun shots so people get an idea just how exciting the day is. Once you get all these shots, it's important for you to post them. Instagram is a great way to do this, of course, but keep in mind that Instagram should be seen as a gallery. Much in the same way that you wouldn't put up any shot on your walls at home, think of your digital wall the same way. If you're looking for a play-by-play, use Instagram stories or even the carousel feature that allows you to put multiple photos up in one post, but you can keep the very best post at the top so that your wall is consistent and strong. You also want to use photography to find your own voice. So make sure your photographer captures poignant moments, creative moments, interesting branding opportunities, funny shots, and engaging shots. If you're thinking that you might not have that much to share with the world, try out a few things. Go for some interesting technology. Try out different angles. Showcase what makes your event unique. Go for some before and after shots, or just do something kind of fun. It's also important for you to hashtag your photos. You're part of the TEDx community, and the TEDx community is a great resource for you to find what other people are doing. So hashtagging your photos is a great way to look into this resource. Here are some ideas for hashtags. Hashtag TEDx, TEDx swag, TEDx stage, TEDx speaker, your speaker's name, TEDx audience, TEDx activation, your TEDx event name, TEDx BTS, which is behind the scenes, and TEDx staff. One of the great things about using Flickr is it not only provides a venue for you to upload your images, but it's also a great resource for you to research what other people are doing and to get inspiration for your next event. Once you upload your images on Flickr, it's important that you open up the copyrights and also make sure, once again, that you tag everything. Credit your photographer, include the date and location of your event, and once again, make sure you allow us access, no watermarks, and no restricted copyrights. Photographs are a great way for you to show everything that happened at your event, whether it's in an amazing arena, an interesting audience activation, something funny that happens on stage or off of it, a unique perspective, a dynamic location, or something that's just plain creative. To get these great shots, it's important that you prepare, you produce, and you post. Thanks.